we're now outside the Westminster Parliament, and again that we have seen what we expected, that Theresa May has survived the vote of no confidence, and Jeremy Corbyn is now actually asking for no deal Brexit to be taken out of the equation, which means effectively we would not be leaving the EU. So Theresa May has survived, I think it was 306 to 326. So all of the people voted in the way that we anticipated. Arlene Foster and the DUP have obviously backed Theresa May, and the SNP has obviously put in a no confidence motion against Theresa May, and we are hopefully going to see some interesting things that are going to come out of what's actually happened tonight. It's a complete non-event tonight. We knew that it would be successful, but for Jeremy Corbyn to actually come out and say that we should have a vote, we should have a no-deal Brexit, means that the political class are actually now angling for basically not to leave the EU on some sort of manner. Whether or not Theresa May can restructure her deal to actually remove the backstop, I don't think the DUP or Arlene Foster will support a deal which doesn't involve the backstop in the European Union's deal. And it's basically all of these, what we thought was going to happen earlier, what I basically said, that this has been a non-deal. The big news is that Nicola Sturgeon has asked for a second referendum in Scottish independence. So obviously continual referendums, that's the way that's going to be the future. And now we're now seeing a bastardisation of democracy, where we take votes and people, or the political class, just ignore them, which is an unprecedented events in British politics. And it's a real problem now that Jeremy Corbyn is asking for a no-deal Brexit to be taken off the table. And I don't know how large the constitution of the British Parliament would be to actually bring in this or to take no deal off the table, because we've only got a few months before a no deal Brexit would actually come into pass, by just the way that this is actually panned out. So Theresa May survived the vote of no confidence. There can't be another leadership election in the Conservative Party for another year. A total political non-event, a waste of time actually having the vote. It's exactly going how it's actually anticipated. Theresa May is going to hang on again, and it'll really depend on what is going to happen with her deal and how it's going to plan out. We've already seen the European Union wanting to just scrap Brexit, and the SNP has already put in motion the ability for us just to say, all right, we're not actually having Brexit, which would, I think, have a major constitutional problems. The fact that the one of the largest democratic votes in British history has just been ignored by the political class. So that is absolutely massive from the European Union, or massive from the European Union and massive from our political class. And I mean, it could see a huge uptake in those in UKIP, because if the political class ignore the leave situation that is actually going to arise from actually not having a no-deal Brexit or a clean break Brexit. The people voted to leave the EU. Soft Brexit is effectively keeping us in the European Union, and that's not what was voted for. We will not be able to get our own trade agreements with the other countries, and this is a real problem. So again, we've not seen any conclusion. Theresa May is still in power. This is one of the most tenacious political dynasties that we've actually seen in Britain for generations. I mean, she just cannot be moved. And hello, hi there, how are you doing? What's going on? What's going on is Theresa May has survived the vote of no confidence, and she has won by 326 to 307. 307. So 19 votes. She has survived. So the DUP has basically backed her, and that is where we're talking to Arlene Foster. So we should be able to get some of the reactions from the MPs in a wee while. So I will come back to that. But yeah, so she survived again. So what's going on? So where are we now? So where we are just now is the fact that Theresa May is going to have to go back to the EU and renegotiate her deal and then bring it back. Or they've been calling it the Robert the Bruce strategy that she's adopting, where she continually tries to ram her deal through the House of Commons, which I don't. If it's already been knocked back once, it's unlikely it's going to get through changes. The DUP are unlikely to support her in actually getting the deal through Parliament. So we're not going to get any further forward with this deal. The EU said they're not going to renegotiate. They want us just to ignore the vote, the referendum, and just stay in the EU. Man, did they want the backstop all the time, because that keeps us in. It certainly keeps us in the customs union, and the British Parliament would not be able to vote for us to come out. Only the European Union would allow us to come out of the customs union on the back of this backstop. So it is a sort of gerrymandering of how to keep us in the customs union. And if we're in the customs union, it means that we're not allowed to make international trade deals. So only the EU could actually do it. So this is it. So they want all what they wanted all the time. Yes, well, that's certainly what it looks like, and it's certainly been gerrymandered to do that. So the DUP has basically they've saved Theresa May. Whether or not Jeremy Corbyn will actually call another vote of no confidence, depending on what happens with Theresa May. I mean, Theresa May has survived today, but Theresa May has got to go away and now rework the way that her deal is actually going to be constructed and submitted to the Parliament to get their consent. With Jeremy Corbyn saying that we should take a no-deal Brexit off the table, which means we would be out in a few months. Now, if Theresa May fails that, it means that there would have to be a second referendum, or there would have to be another general election, although in the fixed-term Parliament that might not actually happen. So there's a whole host of issues that Theresa May is going to have to do. If it was easy, she would go back to Europe and say, we can't do the backstop, just take that out of the deal, and the EU would accept that. Either that, we're heading towards a no-deal Brexit. We've been stuffed again. Yes, why can't we just leave with no deal? Well, the reason we can't leave with no deal is the political class don't want us to leave with no deal. And that's why the political class do want to keep us in. They are signed up to this corporatist globalist agenda. And whether it be the Social Democrats within the Labour Party, the Christian Democrats within the Conservative Party, or the Liberal Democrats, or these authoritarian centrists are wanting to keep us in the EU in some manner. And we're actually going to be limited in how this is going to pan out, because the political class don't want us to leave. We need to move on this and stand for what's right. Well, I think what might actually happen is we're going to see a new resurgence of UKIP, and if it depends on how this works over the next few months. If we go out with no deal, then that could be beneficial, and that will solve all the problems. That would be what actually was voted for in the general or the referendum. If she goes back and gets a second referendum, it means that we're basically going to vote again. And what the political classes seem to want to do in the second referendum is not allow a no deal vote. So that would be taken off the actual new referendum. It would either be Theresa May or Remain, which seems absolutely incredible. So Theresa May survived. We're not in any further forward. And Theresa May is going to have to, over the next period of time, develop a new deal that is going to be acceptable to the DUP, and somebody's going to have to lose out. So this is the situation. Somebody is going to lose out, and it's a very hard circle to square, and it's going to be very difficult. I just listened to Gerard address the EU, and he can sure get in. He can sure get him in. Well, I mean, Gerard has obviously done a great job reviving UKIP, sitting about 4% just now. Was going up to 8% before Nigel resigned. I think it would have been better if Nigel had just stayed in, and the rest of the people that were in the UKIP as well. I think. But even under Gerard, I could see UKIP reviving as well. I think Gerard is a competent politician as well as Nigel. So, sorry, sort it out, yes. So, what might actually have to happen is that people go away from the traditional parties and start voting and standing for UKIP as well. I mean, that's the only potential way to square this circle. And in Scotland as well, this is going to be massive. If there's a second referendum in Scotland, the SNP want to keep us in Europe, and they want to keep us in Europe, and they want to I don't know if they're going to, how it would work if they vote for independence. Why not if it gets it done? Yeah, well, if you vote UKIP, it will get it done. It will be independent. If there's enough UKIP MPs in Westminster, that will get the job done. So that's going to be a total transformation in British politics. Especially we heard Freddie last night from UKIP discussing that UKIP are basically a classical liberalist party now, and that they are basically a centrist libertarian liberal party, unlike the authoritarian liberalists. Yeah, I really hope UKIP win. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the only alternative. There isn't any other cards on the table. Only if UKIP actually get the vote back up, and it would have to be a real transformation. It would have to be all the people who voted for Brexit go to UKIP to actually transform the British political scene, because obviously the people in the Parliament don't want Brexit, and they want to just continue with being in the EU. They don't want to honour the referendum. It's the first time I can certainly think where the political class have not implemented what was actually said in the referendum, which we were told that they were going to do, and they haven't done it. It's a very, very strange situation. Very strange. Anyway, listen, I'm going to cut it here. Why are the people so thick they don't get it? Well, listen, we're going to wrap it here. What we're going to do is go and get some interviews. So I'm going to go and live feed it now. Okay, guys.